Commanders fans, smash that like button if you're ride or die with Terry McLaurin, no matter what happens with his contract. And if you're fired up for the Jayden Daniels era, hit that subscribe and turn on those notifications. We've got news, drama, and insider takes coming in hot all season long, right here on Commanders HQ. The standoff between Terry McLaurin and the Washington Commanders is officially center stage. And while some fans hoped his return to the facility this week would signal progress, the reality is we're still stuck in neutral. McLaurin showed up, yes, but he's not practicing. The team placed him on the PUP list, reportedly due to an ankle issue, which immediately raised eyebrows. Is it legitimate? Or is this a classic business move to avoid risking injury while negotiations remain at a standstill? Sources say both sides are dug in. McLaurin wants to be paid like a top-tier receiver, think $30 million annually. The Commanders? Not so fast. According to NFL insider Tony Pauline, there is optimism that a deal could get done sooner rather than later, but it won't be in the ballpark of what McLaurin's camp has been pushing for. The expectation? A shorter 2- or 3-year extension with a pay bump this year to give Scary Terry some immediate financial security, but still nowhere near that $30 million mark. So, why the hesitation from GM Adam Peters? This isn't about disrespect. It's about long-term vision and risk management. McLaurin turns 30 this season. That's the age when many NFL GMs start watching production curves closely. Even with Terry's incredible consistency, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons with a carousel of subpar quarterbacks, Washington's front office isn't ready to make him the highest-paid wideout in football. Pauline's support even suggests the Commanders are targeting a deal slightly above what Courtland Sutton got from Denver, roughly $15 to $17 million per year. That's a huge gap from what McLaurin reportedly wants. And here's the kicker. Peters is also thinking about the locker room. How do you hand out a massive contract when you just brought in Deebo Samuel? What message does that send to the other veterans and ascending talents like Luke McCaffrey? It's delicate, and McLaurin knows it. But let's flip the coin, because there's another side to this, and Commanders Nation knows it well. Terry McLaurin has been the heartbeat of this team through some of the darkest seasons in franchise history. He's the definition of a pro. He shows up, plays hurt, makes impossible catches, and never complains even when he had quarterbacks that couldn't hit the ocean from a boat. He's more than a player. He's a culture setter, a bridge between the rebuild and the resurgence. And now that Jayden Daniels is in town, you could argue that McLaurin's presence is even more important. Giving your young quarterback a trusted veteran target is critical. The last thing Peters should want is to create instability at WR1 during Daniels' development phase. So yes, it's fair to be cautious with the cap, but it's also fair to say McLaurin is worth every penny he's asking for, and maybe more. While McLaurin's contract dominates the headlines, let's not ignore the real X factor heading into 2025, the defense. NFL.com's Jeffrey Chadia put it plainly, the defense remains Washington's biggest challenge. Think about it. Washington was among the worst in the NFL at stopping the run last season. Their only double-digit sack producer, Dante Fowler Jr., is gone. And while they've added some veterans, Von Miller and Javon Kinlaw, there's still a lot of uncertainty up front and in the secondary. Let's keep it real. Dan Quinn is a defensive mastermind. That's why he's here. But even he can only do so much with limited personnel. If the Commanders want to make another deep playoff push, this defense has to overachieve. And preseason is right around the corner. On August 8th, the Commanders take on the New England Patriots in their first preseason game, and all eyes will be on that defensive front. Can they get off the field on third down? Can they generate pressure without blitzing? Can the young corners hold their own? The answers to those questions might determine whether Washington is just a playoff team or a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Commanders Nation, we're witnessing something rare, and ESPN's Louis Riddick just confirmed it. Washington quarterback Jayden Daniels isn't just a rising star, he's a phenomenon. A rookie season that most QBs only dream of. 3,568 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions, a clean 69 completion rate, and nearly 800 rushing yards and 6 TDs on the ground. But it wasn't just stats. It was poise, command, swagger, leadership, and most importantly, wins. Daniels took a broken 4-win Commanders team from 2023 and turned them into a 12-5 contender that stunned the NFL with playoff wins over the Bucs and the NFC's top seed, Detroit. No wonder he ran away with Offensive Rookie of the Year. And now, the expectations are even higher. On a recent ESPN appearance, respected analyst Louis Riddick didn't hold back. When asked if it was wild to consider Daniels a legit MVP candidate in year 2, he didn't just say no, he practically guaranteed it. He said, "This guy is unique, a unicorn. I watched him in a media session and thought, has he been in the league 4 or 5 years? He's the unquestioned leader, one of the best this team has had in 2 decades. He's the head of the snake." Those are strong words, and they matter. Riddick isn't just tossing out hot takes. This is a guy who's evaluated talent for decades, and he's rarely this effusive. And remember, Daniels already finished 7th in MVP voting as a rookie, so this isn't hype, it's reality. The leap from 7th to 1st isn't crazy. Not when you've got the tools, the momentum, and now, even more weapons. Let's talk about those weapons. The Commanders didn't just sit back this offseason and hope for another miracle run. They got aggressive, and it started by upgrading Daniels' supporting cast. The biggest addition, Pro Bowl wide receiver Deebo Samuel. A proven yak machine, Deebo gives Daniels a true alpha target to pair with Terry McLaurin, assuming Scary Terry stays in DC. Plus, throw in promising young pieces like Luke McCaffrey, tight end Ben Sinnott, and veteran back Brian Robinson Jr., and you've got a dynamic, multi-dimensional offense. Oh, and let's not forget, Laramie Tunsil is now anchoring the left side of the line, giving Daniels more time to operate. With Cliff Kingsbury dialing up creative plays in a rebuilt O-line, the conditions are ripe for explosion. Stats and weapons are one thing, but what sets Daniels apart and what makes this MVP chatter real are the intangibles. From day one, this guy acted like a 10-year veteran, commanding the huddle, handling the media like a pro, outworking everyone in the film room, building instant trust in the locker room. He's not just the quarterback, he's the face of the franchise. That maturity was on full display last year. After losses, Daniels never pointed fingers. After wins, he gave credit to his teammates. That's rare, especially for a rookie. And now, with a full NFL season under his belt, a full offseason as the guy, and a coaching staff fully committed to his development, that's a recipe for greatness. So let's ask the big question. Can Jayden Daniels really win MVP in 2025? Let's break it down. Elite numbers, already there. Wins? The Commanders are trending upward. Star power? Absolutely. Narrative? Huge. Year 2 QB lifts a once struggling franchise. National buzz? Growing fast. The only thing that could slow him down is the infamous sophomore slump. But truthfully, that doesn't seem like Jayden's story. Why? Because he's not coasting on talent. He's grinding, studying, leading. Riddick called him one of the most mature young leaders the league has seen in decades. That's not a player you worry about regressing. That's a player you bet on. Something is happening in DC, and the entire Commanders locker room feels it. Veterans like Frankie Louvu have raved about the new culture. Young stars like Emmanuel Forbes and Johnny Newton have spoken about how Daniels raises the standard on both sides of the ball. And the fans? They feel it too. There's a buzz we haven't seen in over 20 years. Training camp is packed. Jerseys are flying off shelves. This isn't just another hot rookie. This feels like the beginning of something real. Jayden Daniels isn't just leading the offense. He's leading a movement. Let's bring this full circle. Terry McLaurin is the face of this franchise, and fans know it. But we also know Adam Peters isn't here to hand out legacy deals. He's here to build a winner, one that lasts. So now, Commanders Nation, it's your turn. What should the Commanders do? Pay Terry McLaurin $30 million a year or hold the line and risking losing him after the season? Is the ankle injury real or a negotiation tactic? And do you trust this defense to rise to the occasion in 2025? Drop your takes in the comments. We want to hear from every corner of Burgundy and Gold Nation. And if you want daily updates, exclusive rumors, and behind-the-scenes buzz from Ashburn, hit that subscribe button right now. Because here at Commanders HQ, we don't just report the news, we live it. See you in the next one. Let's go.